We travelled from Port Dickson to Pulau Indah, which is near Port Klang, October 2019. It's only a short distance between Port Dickson and Pulau Indah, but it's 175 kilometres north on the west coast from Singapore, and the scenery varies a little bit, but there is still a huge amount of shipping as you get closer to Port Klang. And as you can see on this map, the shipping lanes veer off towards Langkawi, etc. Much less shipping in this area until you reach Port Klang itself. And you can see by this map that there's approaches that you have to dodge things as you head in. We stayed 3 days in the public marina at Pulau Indah, which is down one of the rivers. The marina can only be accessed from the south because of 2 bridges on the northern approach. There are markers into the river, which is where the marina is, and you have to be careful to watch out for that. Silt is a problem since its opening, and it has closed down now. It's only administered by some security guards and a small staff, and this is the building and the car park. The other interesting thing, it's miles away from anywhere, and without public transport you need a motor vehicle to get around. We paid a small amount of money for 1 day, but because we got sick they let us stay for a few more days. They were really easy. We borrowed a car and used that for a few days to travel to Kuala Lumpur, which is a fair distance away. It's more than an hour and a half. But on the way we stopped off and got checked in at the port immigration section and filled in another form as usual. Then we drove to Kuala Lumpur, and on the way we stopped at a marine shop and bought some parts, and I stopped in a little hotel in Brickfield, Little India, in Kuala Lumpur itself. It was nice. It was a small room and it was really quite cheap. Book before you go because they try to charge you more as when you're at the reception. I went sightseeing in the Little India shopping area in Brickfield, and it was fairly deserted in the day, but when I was there anyway, and I had a lovely meal, Indian meal. It didn't have anything to do with me being sick, but the night market was really interesting. Lots of colour, lots of noise. And further up into KL proper, near the station, I went for a walk up there, and I got wet through in the rain, and I returned to the boat. But on the way back the next day I stopped in to the Tesco store along the highway and purchased food for the up and coming 3 or 4 days. And after 3 days we headed out into Malacca Straits and towards Pancor Island. Just a little bit of a history about Pulau Indah Marina. It's a public marina, 120 berths, and it's in a river and with a fairly strong current. It's best to enter and arrive on the ebb tides. Again, we got closer to the shipping lanes, and between the anchored boats and the boats moving up behind us we had to be careful, and that's just the way it is in the Malacca Straits. On the way up we shared duties, one on the helm, one sleeping, and we had lots of free time, 4-hour shifts. And as we approached Pancor Islands, the weather was no wind, flat and calm, nice and hot, so we didn't use the sails. It was a motor sail all the way up. as we sailed up 150 kilometres between Port Klang and Pulau Indah. We just enjoyed the fellowship that we had together. Of course, there was only 3 of us this time, but we were able to enjoy ourselves. So we got plenty of time to do nothing, sit around and play with the mobile phone and take photographs. Most of my photos and videos got missing as usual. I don't know what I do with them half the time. That's the problem of getting older. And after 12 months I finally got around to producing this videos. It's produced by myself, and of course this is another exciting video of our trip to Pulau Indah, Port Klang, and then some time in KL.